Why does it seem like the whole world and everyone in it never gets what they deserve? Crappy people don't get punished and good people don't get rewarded. And that's because of the very nature of the concept of deserving. Deserving is a sense of entitlement, but it's also an emotional position of lack. To say I deserve is saying I'm owed. And the reality is, if you are whole and complete, and you perceive yourself as whole and complete, a spiritual being being put on the planet that is already fulfilled, then by saying I deserve, you're saying I don't have, I am not complete. And because the universe is so committed to giving you exactly what you say it should, it's the best servant. It says, sure, when you say I lack, it goes, well, here is a reality reflected to you where you lack. Now, what would determine how deserving you are? What metric do you use to assess how much you deserve something? Is it by a set of criteria you need to meet? You're like, oh, well, I did the things that I should have done. I sacrificed all of this and I waited time to get it. So I'm done with that. I now deserve it. It's a weird thing if you think about it. Deserving doesn't actually make sense. Because by whose metric is it being judged for you to get things or to get a nice relationship or to have a nice home and live where you want to live? The metric to assess this doesn't really make sense. In a logical way, how would you put that together? But it's so programmed into us from school and from being, a part of this world. But that doesn't make sense when it comes to actually having the life you want or being a good or bad person. It doesn't seem to reflect on those levels. It's kind of like, well, you get it if you get it. And it's pretty shitty. Now, I'm going to show you the spiritual side of deserving something that you can apply so you can start getting what you want. If it's a new relationship or a healthy relationship, if it's a nice car, if it's money, so income, if it's where you want to be emotionally in yourself, I'm going to take you through the spiritual concept. And for those of you who are new here, I don't do the whole esoteric thing. I make spirituality practical so that you can actually apply this in your life. For those of you who've been here for a while, this is something I'm really excited to share with you guys. And if you think about it, what is deserving? It's de-serving. I'm no longer serving the pursuit of it. I'm now in the energy of I'm owed it. Spiritually, your emotional state of self is your spiritual body, and that is what is being reflected to you by the world around you, by people in your life, by the things that come to your space. Where you are figuratively and literally are a reflection of your internal emotional state of self. So this whole concept of being in the energy of deserving owed things, what is the metric that you use to judge whether or not you are worthy of something? I think spiritually, you are worthy of everything. Just the mere fact of you being here, you are already worthy of everything. And deserving deals with an issue of worth, of self-worth. So if you go, I'm worthy of it all just by my very existence, that's energetically going to shift you into what would happen if you went through your own idea of the criteria you need to meet to deserve something. Like, oh, I did this, I sacrificed this, I waited for this. What's actually happening energetically is you're acting, that's I did. You're letting go, which is I'm sacrificing for now so I can get later. And then waiting for is patience, so it's over time. This energy combined gives you this feeling of I have, it's already done. Because you're deserving the pursuit. So this is what's happening in the energy of deserving something you are owed. We can take it a step further and actually start bringing things into our space. Now, like I said, this world is just a mirror to your internal state of self. So to go deeper on that concept, everything, everyone, and everywhere is a reflection of how you are feeling about yourself right now. And it's why I say in a lot of my videos, yes, treat others the way you wish to be treated, but treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. Because by learning how you would like to treat yourself is what's going to help you set healthy boundaries so other people don't treat you the way you don't want to be treated. But if you have no idea about yourself first, then it's a pretty difficult thing to know when someone's overstepping a boundary. Because it's like, well, where is that boundary? If you see something in someone, you've got it in you. If you see kindness in someone, that means you have kindness in you. If you see joy and playfulness in someone, you have joy and playfulness inside of you. People who are not joyful and playful don't identify joyful and playfulness in the world. So what that means is everything has the opportunity to be everything around you, in your space. It all has the potential and opportunity to be good or bad. It's how you treat yourself that will be reflected to you. Think of it like this. you have a whole bunch of spoiled people, like spoiled brats, and nothing's ever good enough. A Lamborghini, a Mercedes. I think it was on Vines. Remember, they used to show their kids getting nice cars, and the kids wouldn't appreciate it because they wanted a Benz, or they wanted a BMW instead, but they got something else like a Tesla. Nothing is good enough, even though most of us would be appreciative of that. They can't. It's not within the energy, so they can't identify value because they don't have it in themselves. They need these things to make them look better. And this is what starts to happen when we get into this trap of deserving. It's a sense of entitlement. I'm owed this. But we can get to the energy of it a lot quicker. And we don't need to go through a whole ego battle, a criteria to meet. And the Bible has this passage. Now, for those of you who've been here for a while, you know I don't do passages or names verbatim. I don't remember them. But I'll put it on the screen. I just remember the message. And the message was something like this. God was speaking about a journey through the desert that would take the Israelites. That could take them 11 days, but it took them 40 years or something like that. And this is the 40-year journey through the desert by meeting all these criteria that we set for ourselves to be in a worth state to have something. So to be worthy of something, we have to do all of these things. But that's already quite a corrupt system because whose standards are correct? The 11-day journey through the desert is one where we just skip to the feeling and we can create what we think it will feel like through imagination. There's so many times you've gotten things you've wanted that you said would make you happy, but you're sitting wanting more. If you were truly happy, you wouldn't have the desire for more things. So if we look at it like that and we go, okay, well, no matter what I get, I'm never going to be as fulfilled as I think I'm going to be in my imagination when I thought about getting this nice car or this nice house. I thought it would be better. A lot of us reaching the 30s now, we have these discussions, with like friends as well, and we're like, I thought I would feel like an adult. I thought I would feel different. And that's kind of the point I'm making with this whole concept. Get away from needing to have things to feel a certain way. And I'll put it like this. What is stopping you now from just enjoying the feeling that comes from imagining the life you want? Like, why stop yourself from feeling it now? Why base it on the circumstances of the world? By that I mean, why only give yourself permission to feel what you want to feel when the world changes? Why not have the feeling now and get to enjoy it as if everything were the way you wanted it? And remove the value from the world because, like I've said, things would make you happy when you got them and you're still wanting more. So this world won't provide you that sense of satisfaction that comes from within. So imagine the feeling. That's the whole point here. Imagine the feeling. Skip the criteria and go to the energy of what it would feel like if you already had it. How would you then behave? And for a lot of people, it would be gratitude. Now, gratitude or appreciation is one of the strongest manifesting emotions you can have. Because if you're in a state of, I'm so grateful for this, and you're grateful for as much as you can be every day, the universe then says, okay, let me show you what it's like to have a life where you are genuinely grateful for everything. And it will give you more to be grateful for. Gratitude and abundance go hand in hand. That's the manifestation magnet for it. That combined with consistency equals natural abundance. So if you're consistent in your gratitude for every little thing, you will get more things to be grateful for, and you do that over time. So this is the thing when it comes into the energy you're having of being deserving. What is it like to feel like you deserve something? Well, you already said, oh, well, if I meet these standards, then it will be fine. Like in school, they use a grading system. This is how it's so programmed into us. If you get this many questions correct, you'll get this grade. That is why we program to have criteria to deserve something. So to feel like we deserve a good grade or we deserve recognition, we have to have good grades. And to do that, we need to do the work, sacrifice a lot of this, and wait a whole bunch of time to get our results. And that programming is flawed. That's part of how we stay suppressed. We can skip to that energy now, and that will help us do the things that we need to get what we ultimately want. So this is the best thing we can do, is find the energy through imagining what it would be like to have what we want, which is ultimately why you do anything, right? Is to have a feeling. I work so hard, I do all of this because ultimately I want to feel secure. What's different from us fundamentally? Why do some people get what we think they deserve and other people don't? Why is that the case? Why do we see crappy people not get punished and good people not get rewarded? Because of the belief they have within themselves. If you choose to be emotionally everything you want to be, it will provide you with the opportunities to confirm that. I'll give you an example. I used to work in a factory. I've worked in 2 factories. It was horrible. The one had fiberglass dust. We had to wear masks all the time. Your clothes always had fiberglass in them. The other one was a steel factory, and that was difficult because it's so hot in these factories in South Africa. And with load shedding, it's not like you could air condition the units. So you would sit in South African weather of like 35 degrees Celsius and boil the whole day. That's just the way it was. And my family still do that. Both of these companies were my family that I worked for. And I eventually said, I don't want that for my future. I'm going to be my authentic self. I'm going to imagine this feeling and live it. And it is to make videos on YouTube. It is to connect with people about spirituality and help make it practical. That's my ultimate goal, is to make spirituality practical so people can apply it in their lives. And this is the whole journey that I went on, was just allowing myself to be what I am, is now providing me with the other things that align with that version of me. I'm acting within my abundance, and abundance is coming to me. And that's kind of the concept behind deserving. It's deserving the pursuit. It's I am owning it. But it is a sense of entitlement, and we can just move to the energy because you are entitled to everything. You're worthy of everything. That's why you exist. And that in itself, what are the chances of you existing? I mean, that already is unfathomably low. You have a high chance of winning the lottery. So in that, realize your worth. Realize it in your state now. Imagine the feeling, onboard it into your current state of reality, and even if nothing happens, at least you feel better than being in the energy of constantly wanting. At the very least, you feel better. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really like making it for you guys. If you don't want to miss another upload where I take spirituality and make it practical, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and you won't miss another upload. Thanks to all of you who are still here. You're utter legends. Chat to me in the comments. I reply to every single one. I look forward to seeing you in the next video and in the comment section. Mad love and light.